Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to talk about the education system again. I seem to make a lot of videos about IQ, but I am getting a lot of requests to make IQ videos. Today I'm going to talk about how we can fix the school system, okay? Now, I, being a low IQ student, I have a condition called Asperger's syndrome. That might have something to do with it, but I learned to talk late. I learned to read and write late. I learned to do everything late, okay? And I remember when I was in primary school, I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on, and I think the teachers were too ignorant to realize what was really going on. They might have thought that I wasn't trying, but no, I just had no idea what the hell was going on. So I think what we should do is we should grade students. A lot of students wouldn't like this because they're too egotistical. They're like, oh, you can't grade the classes. We need to be all in one group and feel equal. Well, you're not equal in terms of academic abilities. So let's not let's not fool yourself. The best way to improve yourself is to stick to a routine or a program that you can actually manage. Okay, so yeah, split them into certain sections, and so the lower IQ students, so let's say you do like an IQ test, you get 70 on your IQ test, and you're like, right, okay, so Mark, we're going to give you work based on your ability. So you have an IQ of 70, so we're going to give you work for that standard, okay, not 100, because if you're doing work for people with an IQ of 100, you're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be too difficult. You're not going to benefit from doing it, but if you do the work for a person with an IQ of 70, you can actually do the work, you can actually improve. You can improve your IQ to maybe 80, and then you can maybe move up a grade. So maybe you have different grades. People in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, 110s, 120s, 130s. They're all split up, and they do their own kind of routine. Because, I've been working on my brain, trying to improve my brain for the last 11 months. And I've been very successful. Like I work at McDonald's. I found that job when I first started trying to improve my brain. I found working at McDonald's extremely difficult. My head was wrecked after every shift. It took me 4 months to get the hang of my first station. Most people, I've heard, get the hang of the first station after a week. But I actually don't think that's true. I think they probably get the hang of it after maybe 2 or 3 shifts. So yeah, and but now I find the job easy. I'm able to do stations I wasn't able to do before. My head's never wrecked after a shift. It feels easy now. So and I am thinking of getting a better job. So yeah, and what did I do for the last 11 months? I just read for 20 minutes a day, 6 days a week. Yes, so that's what, 2 hours a week of reading. Not 2 hours a day. So 20 minutes of reading a day, 6 days a week. That's a very, very light program. But I stuck with it, and that's what helped me improve, because I had a low IQ. I can only handle a small workload, a very light workload, if you know what I mean. And I've increased that to 25 minutes recently. And when I first started reading, I'd read for 20 minutes, and I could hardly remember anything that I just read. But now, if I read for 25 minutes, I can remember a lot of what I just read, okay? And that's a good improvement. So yeah, you can't have a one-size-fits-all. You can't have, because I feel like the school system, it fails low IQ students and high IQ students, but more so low IQ students. Because, the high IQ students, they're bored. The work is too easy for them. Okay, it's like running. I used to be a runner, okay? Now, let's say you're an athletics coach, okay, or a long-distance running coach, and, you've got an elite group of runners, and they're running 14 minutes for 5K. You get some guy coming up to you who's running 22 minutes in the 5K. You can't make him train with 14-minute 5K runners. That's not going to work. You have to make him train like a 22-minute 5K runner and improve himself, work his way up the ranks before he moves up to higher standards. So maybe if you're running 22 minutes, train with guys who are running 22 minutes for a 5K, get your time down to 20 minutes, and then train with guys who are running 20 minutes for a 5K. Okay? Same thing is, if you're a 14-minute 5K runner and you're sent off to train with a 22-minute 5K runner, well, training's going to be too easy for you, Maybe if you're maybe a 14-minute 5K runner, maybe you could pace a 22-minute 5K runner for, let's say, a mile time trial, 5K time trial, 10K time trial, and you might be able to treat that as like easy part of your easy mileage. You know, you could do it that way. But still, ultimately, you're gonna have to do most of your training with other runners of your own standard. And if there's no one of your own standard to train with, then you have to train your own. That's the reality of the situation. Okay, so yeah, not everyone's equal. Okay, I hear that in Blackrock College, actually, they do have a grading system. Like, I think they have like 8 grades or something. In like first year, it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H or something like that. Um, and that's a much better way of doing it. Okay, and stop telling students to study for like 6, 7, 8 hours a day. That's just crazy. I've no idea how anyone can study that much. Like like from the age of like 16 to 17, I used to study for 2.5 hours a day on a school day and 5 hours a day on my off days from school. And I got no benefit from doing that. It's just too much work. The brain needs to recover from the intellectual workload. Otherwise, you don't benefit from it. Okay? Kind of like in running, if you have an overweight person who can only run a 10-minute mile, if you have them going out running fecking 20 miles a day, that's not going to work out. They're just going to get injured, okay? And they'll lose fitness from doing that. Okay, so yeah, that's my video. Is there anything else I can say here? No, just think outside the box a little bit, okay? It's really not that difficult. So for me, all I had to do was do a lighter workload. And too many people, they try to be too smart about it. Like I remember teachers, they used to try to make us learn in different ways. They had this theory called the different learning styles. Some people don't learn verbally, or they don't learn by writing down things. They learn by visually. They learn by photographs and stuff like that. That's stupid. Okay, no, it's just a lighter workload. That's all you need to do, and you need to be very patient, because you're not going to go from having a very low IQ to having a very high IQ after like a month. I've been doing it for 11 months. I still feel like my IQ is below the average, but I haven't had it tested. Last time I had it tested, my IQ was 70. But I'm definitely above that now. So yeah, comment below. Do you agree with my opinions here? Do you have any other ideas what we could do to improve the school system? Anyway, look, the school system is not designed to help kids. It's like an indoctrination course, pretty much. So yeah, they fool students into thinking that they're stupid. They live their whole lives thinking that they're stupid, but they're just uneducated. They never had a good teacher. I never had a good teacher, so I became my own teacher. That's what I'm doing. And they say, oh, you can't improve your IQ after the age of 18. That they're just saying that to keep you down. Okay, they just, they want very little competition at the top. You have to remember, the school system is designed by the entrepreneurs, the wealthiest, most powerful people in society in the 19th century during the Industrial Revolution. They don't want much competition, or they want a small amount of entrepreneurs dominating at the top, and they want all their loyal workers below them working for them, making them wealthier. Okay, and we just need to question this. If you can question this and look through the bullcrap, then they can't control us. It's as simple as that. Okay. Yeah, that's it.